Hello everybody, it's a writer's here and welcome to today's news video. This is my first time ever doing a news video on this channel about Minecraft and it's super duper exciting, and today I want to talk about the Biome vote at Minecon Live. If you've been keeping up with what's going on in the Minecraft community right now, you have definitely noticed that there is the Minecraft Live event coming up soon, which is super duper exciting, and for this one we have 3 votes to choose from for our biome update options. We have Badlands, we have mountains, and we have swamps. And today I want to go over my perspective, my viewpoints on what I think each of these updates has to offer, potentially sway you in one direction or another. I personally am torn right now between a swamp and a mountain biome, and I hope by giving you all this information, you are able to make a more informed decision. And just know that all this information is mostly my personal opinion and what I have seen in the video. I have not received any information from Mojang, and I have not dug through the code files to try and find anything out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into it. So the first one I want to go over is the Badlands, and this one has a couple of interesting features. The first one is a brand new, what looks like to be a completely unique block type, the Tumbleweed. And I don't know if the Tumbleweed is going to be treated like an entity or a moving block, but in the video you can see that the Tumbleweed is moving around and interacting with the environment around it, and that will be a completely unique thing to have in the game, something that has just never happened before and would be quite interesting. And another thing that we see in the video is a new type of cactus, and I think this would be interesting as by the looks of it, it looks like it may act like a chorus fruit in the way that grows, and that should be very interesting. Maybe it will have magical properties like a chorus fruit, but I have no idea. And I'm going to probably assume that it will be able to deal damage just like the regular cactus would. However, it may also serve as a food source if it's like a prickly pear, where in real life you can eat prickly pears if you should choose to do so, and it works as a food source. And finally, there's a new mob in the Badlands. I think that this is going to be probably a neutral mob or a passive mob. I'm leaning towards passive, but it's going to be really cool. It will be the first ever bird, besides the chickens, like actual flying bird, introduced into the game, and that is super duper exciting. And one thing is it's going to add a unique challenge for if you die in the Badlands. In the video they mentioned that they will pick up loot or items left by the player, and say you die in the Badlands, a vulture may end up picking up your stuff, which is a good way to keep it from despawning, but also adds in the challenge of you somehow need to get that stuff back. Alright, let's move on to the mountains now. The mountains have some really, really cool things. I'm from Colorado, so I'm a little bit biased towards this. I personally love the mountains. And one of the things that they first off go over is snow. And based off the video, snow is going to act and feel more natural, as snow is definitely not easy to walk through. And we could see that based off of what I saw, it will act a little bit more like soul sand, in which you are slowed down and you sink into the block a little bit. And yeah, so it has a potential for traps. I'm not entirely sure what though, and it will be more immersive in the game. My only concern is if you go to a mountain biome or a what looks like to be like, if this does happen, a snow-capped mountain, it will be more difficult to move around, and that's just tedious and difficult on the player. But other than that, I don't have any complaints about snow. The big thing that I'm super excited for is if mountains get chosen, there will be new terrain generation. They show this in the video and they mention it that there will be like soaring cliffs, snow-capped peaks, and overall better mountains. And one of the things I love about looking at like photos of modern Minecraft is the crazy, cool, amazing terrain generation. And I would love to be able to see that in the vanilla game. And it would be amazing to just see these cliffs and mountainsides and like glorious views just in vanilla Minecraft. And that would be so cool. And the final thing that's mentioned in the mountains update potential is goats. And I would, based off of what I saw, I'm not entirely sure if this is true, goats could potentially serve as a new food source, as like in the real world they can be a food source. And another thing is they're probably a neutral mob that will be scared by the player. And this would be pretty unique, as off the top of my head, I don't think any other mob is scared by the player walking nearby. So that would be a pretty cool thing to have. Maybe, I don't know, it would definitely add a lot more immersion and a new thing in the game. It may be able to, if goats do flee from the player, It could be used, goats could be used as like a player detection system for redstone and some fancy stuff like that. And the final potential for a biome update is the swamp, and this introduced some really cool stuff, such as a new storage solution with the mine or with the chest boats. And I see this as a positive, especially if you like use ice paths in the nether. If you want to have resources that you just always have available to you in the nether, then you could keep them in like a chest inside your boat and not have to worry about that. Like if you want spare pickaxes, maybe a cauldron with a water bucket, stuff like that. That would be useful to store in a boat inside the nether, just so you never have to carry all that stuff with you into the overworld. The next one is a new passive mob, from what I can tell, the frog, which will add more immersion to the game and make the swamp more of a unique biome instead of just oak trees plus water plus ugly colors. And I think adding in this new mob will actually potentially add a reason that you want to go to a swamp. Maybe you want frog legs for your Minecraft character, and that's my next point is it's potentially a new food source. And that is pretty dang cool. And finally, the thing that I am most excited about for the swamp is there's a brand new tree called the mangrove. And that is super duper exciting for builders because that means we get a new wood type, we get a new log type, we get a new plank type, we get new leaves. And all of this are super duper exciting, allow us to create different accents for builds and have a different build palette altogether while maintaining like the look and feel of just regular wood in Minecraft. And that is going to be super exciting, and it means that oak trees will no longer be found. Well, they might not be found in swamps, but swamps will again have another reason for you to go to them. And that is definitely a good thing. Like, currently, I think there's only one reason you'd want to go to a swamp, and that is to get slime, and that's if you don't have a slime farm. So adding in frogs and the mangrove tree is an excellent way to make it so that swamps have a reason for you to go visit them. All right, and so that's all my information I have, everything I want to go over about the Minecraft biome vote. I personally am going to be voting for either the mountains biome or the swamp biome. I'm kind of torn between them because of like the new terrain generation and the new tree type, but I don't know. I will figure it out before the biome vote comes around. And by looking at it, the main thing that's going to be happening from this biome vote is that Mojang wants to focus on immersion in the game. In each of these, you can see that there is a new like mob. That in Badlands you have vultures, in mountains you have goats, and in swamps you have frogs. And then each one looks to introduce a new unique block or a new unique feature. Like in the Badlands, there's a tumbleweed, which looks to be very unique in all aspects. There's snow from the mountains and new terrain generation, which is super duper exciting. And in the swamp, new storage solutions with the mine or with the chest boats and a brand new block and tree type. And so that is super duper exciting. And I hope you all found this video informing. And if you did like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. But I will see you all in the next video. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.